China is not playing games, and I find it hilarious and sobering. Ever since the tariff war had started, what have you started to see hitting your FYP and various social media platforms? You've seen Chinese content creators talk about the behind the scenes work that goes into creating these so-called high-end luxury American and European brands. And what do we learn in those videos and in those conversations? What we have learned is that when these goods are produced by Chinese artisans and the Chinese supply chain, nothing after the production changes. Basically, the product that you're getting with a Chanel logo or some other Coach logo or whatever is the exact same product that you would get at like an off-brand or generic store. That tells you something that is hilarious. It tells you that everything that we've been saying about American corporations price gouging the consumer is absolutely true. When you're talking about Nike or Adidas or Coach or Louis Vuitton or any of these brands, they make their products for $15 to $20 to them, and they charge hundreds or thousands to us. I am thrilled to see this being exposed, and what makes it even better is that these Chinese manufacturers are circumventing the middleman and telling the American consumer, if you want the same quality good that you are getting from these name brand retailers, just bypass the middleman and come directly to us.
They didn't want to believe it at first, but now Americans are finally waking up. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide, where we talk about the stories that shake up the world. And today we are revisiting something I already told you all, but this time Americans are actually starting to get it. Big brands, your favorite American-made labels, yeah, most of them were never really made in America to begin with. And after China exposed the receipts, the internet is finally connecting the dots. So let's check out these clips and what people are saying, then I'll be back. But before that, kindly guys, consider subscribing if you're new here for more trending stories. So let's get into it.
They have been on this app and they are spilling the beans. Now they're big mad. They were referred to as peasants, and they've decided that they're going to be sharing like trade secrets out the window. I've been telling people for years, just Google which products have the highest profit margin. Let's take pharmaceuticals out of that for a minute. Another day we'll go down that rabbit hole. But just stop a second and look at which products are most profitable. Which ones have the highest profit margin? It's not the typical cars. It's not the big ticket items like when they build a home or none of that. You know which items are most profitable? Luxury goods. As in handbags, shoes, clothing, perfume oils, lotions, accessories, all of those things. If you knew before and you're happy that you're paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for products that cost less than $100 to make, good for you. I mean, if that's the way you want to spend your money, you earned it. You can do that. But I know there are many of you who not only did not know that, you can't afford to do it. So I'm speaking to you especially. So at the very least, you should be able to make more informed consumer choices around what you buy, what you attach a premium to, and what is really worth your money.
I just want to know if there's anybody else that's laughing as much as I am right now to being one of those people that never bought the expensive bags and didn't really believe in labels. And then you tell everybody, yeah, that shit's probably made in China. And then you find out it is.
I'm not sure how I ended up on Chinese TikTok, but I am here for it. Have you guys seen the video of the guy exposing Birkin? He's going through the whole process of making the Birkin bags and how much it cost in China. So I think the cost is about $1,500. And then the Birkin turns around and sells them for $33,000. What kind of a profit is that, mofo? What kind of a profit? Well, I'm sure you're seeing this Louis Vuitton Neverfull, and these retail for about $2,000, which probably cost them $20 to make, but you're not going to get me. Louis Vuitton, you're not going to get me. I got this at a garage sale, right? It was $90. Looks just like the real one. No one will ever know. How will they know?
The Chinese takedown of luxury goods is wild right now. because luxury goods are a huge source of soft power for the West. Soft power is power through things like culture, music, even language. Like US TV shows, that's a form of soft power because it makes the US aspirational and desirable in some ways. So with luxury brands, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, these Birkins, it creates this aspiration for the West, or aspiration to be European in a way, showing that Europe is this gold standard of quality. But when China's revealing that 80% of anything you buy that's Gucci is made in China, that over 60% of anything that you buy from Prada is made in China, that the only difference is that they send it over to Europe and then they stitch on a made in France or made in Italy little label, it's the ultimate pulling the curtain on the wizard in The Wizard of Oz and showing that there actually is no real magic and power in the person who's controlling Oz. I think it's going to be really interesting because there is such a stigma of something that's made in China. There's this perception of lesser quality in the West, but when you reverse that paradigm, when you show that all these goods that you thought were better because they came from Italy or France or wherever, when actually, in actuality, it comes from China, you're forcing consumers to reckon with why they make choices.
So wait, let me get this straight. For years, we've been called conspiracy theorists about big corporations just slapping the Made in America or Made in France logos on everything. And all of these products were actually made in China. And now, Chinese manufacturers, they are straight up exposing them. Posting videos, receipts, factory floor footage, it's all out there. Turns out that $800 handbag, that luxury serum, artisan cookware, yeah, that all costs $7 to make in China. Your favorite woke corporation, they just slap their logo on it and sell it back to you for 100 times the regular price. And here's the kicker. The same corporations are out here crying about Trump's tariffs, claiming it would ruin business. No, what ruined business is out here lying to Americans while outsourcing jobs, exploiting labor, and, well, pretending to be premium brands. Now, the Chinese manufacturers, they are cutting the middleman and they are going straight to the source, the American people. Yes, you have to order in bulk, like 100 plus units, but they're offering the transparency in the US that corporations are refusing to give. Here's the truth. Trump's tariffs, they didn't hurt the American consumer. They hurt globalist corporations who are overcharging Americans, all while profiting off of huge profits by cheap labor. And now they're getting exploited by the very factories they exploited themselves. So if you're a small business owner, this is your moment. You could work directly with suppliers, you could build your own brand, and cut all the corporate snakes out of the equation. Just know what you're doing, because not everything is worth buying in bulk.
You see, what's happening here isn't just about clothes or phones or shoes. It's about a long overdue realization. And for years, Americans were sold an image, a belief that buying certain brands meant supporting American industries and American jobs and American values. But behind the glossy packaging and patriotic slogans, the reality was something else entirely. Now that China has openly exposed the truth and done it without holding back, a lot of people are being forced to confront something they've been ignoring for a long time. That even the most American brands have been built on global supply chain. And yes, a huge part of that is China. And let's be real, China is not exposing that just for fun. There's a message behind it. It's like they are saying, you depend on us more than you admit. And honestly, looking at the evidence, it's hard to argue with that. And I think what's really shaking people is the disconnect between what they thought they were buying and what they're actually supporting. And that disconnect is uncomfortable. And it's not just about where something was made. It's about being misled. It's about pride, identity, and trust. So now the question becomes, what are people going to do with this information? I guess most are going to go to China, probably, and buy these stuffs directly. But anyway, honestly, because let's face it, most people aren't ready to give up their favorite brands, but they're waking up, and that awareness, that's powerful. Anyway, those are just my thoughts, but now I want to hear from you. Were you surprised by any of this? And did you already know how deep this connection with China really goes? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you're into real conversations, global truth, and stories that cut through the noise, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to Trending Pulse Worldwide. I'll catch you in the next one, and next time we might just talk about something you thought you knew but didn't. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye.